Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss the permissible and prohibited activities under CRSET notification 2019. Let me introduce myself. I am P. Kalayarasan. Hope you have watched the earlier video, that is CRSET notification in India. So I explained this figure. This is nothing but the CRSET classification. We are having CRSET 1A, 1B, CRSET 2, CRSET 3A, 3B, 4A as well as 4B. Now we are going to discuss about the permissible and prohibited activities as per CRSET notification 2019. CRSET 1A. So what I have done, I have divided the activities into a subhead. Under CRSET 1A, the ecotourism activities. So the 2011 notification, these activities were not there and they have included in the 2019 notification. Mangrove walks, tree heads, natural trails, etc. So these are all the activities permissible in CRSET 1A, that is the ecologically sensitive area. The condition is the approved coastal zone management plan. The approved coastal zone management plan should consist of these activities. Public utility installations. So in the mangrove buffer zones, so where we can able to see the mangrove buffer zones, if the mangrove is having more than 1000 square meter in area, there the 50 meter buffer is also classified as CRSET 1A, that is called mangrove buffer zone. This is excluded in the private owned area. If you are having mangrove, that buffer zone is exempted. So in the approved CZMP, you can able to see wherever the 50 meter buffer, if the area is having more than 1000 square meter is excluded, that is private owned mangrove. So in the mangrove buffer zone, what are the activities permissible? Like laying of pipelines, transmission lines, constructing roads on stilts are permitted. In the case of road construction, wherever there is no possible, that is exceptional cases, the road can be constructed in CRSET 1A subject to condition that a detailed environmental impact assessment shall be conducted. In addition to that, the recommendation of the State Coastal Zone Management Authority or Union Territory Coastal Zone Management Authority shall be submitted to Ministry, and the Ministry will issue the clearance for this project. If the proposed road alignment is damaging the existing mangroves, then the compensatory mangrove plantations, that is compensatory mangrove plan, shall also be incorporated along with the recommendation to Ministry. Now coming back to the CRSET 1B category, land reclamation and bunding are permissible subject to the following activities like port, harbour, jetties, wharves, quays, slipway, bridges, hoverports for the coastal guard ceilings, etc. Strategic and security projects also, the land reclamation or bunding is permissible. Roads on stilts, the same thing already we discussed in 1A also. So here also the road construction is permissible. Mass transit system. So mass rapid transit system, we used to call it as MRTS. So MRTS is permissible. For that purpose, the land reclamation or bunding and the related infrastructure is also permissible in CRSET 1B. Erosion control, maintenance of waterway channels, ports and hoverports, sandbar prevention, tidal regulators. So these are the activities permissible under 1B, that is classified as land reclamation or bunding. Waterfront facilities like erosion control measures, the activities requiring foreshore access, breakwaters, pipelines, lighthouses, coastal police stations, coastal guard stations. So all these activities are permissible in 1B. Why I am insisting this 1B? 1B activities are also permissible in CRSET 2 as well as CRSET 3. Energy and storage, power generation using non-conventional sources, storage of petroleum products, LNG, fertilizers and non-hazardous cargo. So for example, food grains, edible oil, so all these things we can able to store within this CRSET 1B area. Fisheries sector, hatcheries, natural fish drain and modernization of fish processing units are permissible. Area, 25% additional landward plinth area should be limited in the case of fisheries. Waste management, facilities for waste treatment, effluent conveyance and stormwater drains are permissible in CRSET 1B. Strategic projects, resource extraction, utilities and facilities are all shown in this slide, like defense or atomic energy projects and manual mining. So manual mining, in the case of atomic minerals, we should have the approved mining plan from the ministry, government of India, then we can able to do the manual mining. Resource extraction, again, that is permissible, like atomic minerals extraction, oil and natural gas exploration and allied infrastructure facilities. In the case of utilities and facilities, laying of pipelines, desalination plants, weather radars, salt harvesting, intake outfall systems for the thermal power plants, dead shells collection. So these are the permissible activities in 1B. Coming back to 2, already I mentioned, so the activities permissible under CRZ 1B category are also permissible in CRZ 2. Here similarly I have divided into activities based construction amendments, reconstruction, tourism development. So coming back to construction activity, wherever we are having the authorized road or authorized buildings between the high tide line and to the proposed plot, then the new construction is permissible. So construction of new residential buildings, schools, hospitals, offices, public places are allowed in the landward side of the existing roads or authorized fixed structures. No construction is permitted on the landward side of the new roads. See, after this notification, if any road constructed, so that road should not be treated as the authorized structure. That should that road is not, that road we cannot able to take it as granted for landward side construction. And in the case of FSI and FAR, so what is meant by FSI or FAR? Floor space index or floor area ratio. So this is well defined in the either municipal or panchayat building rules. What is the permissible limit? That should be followed. So the cutoff date is also fixed up. That is the date of notification issued. 18/1/2019, this CRZ notification issued. So at that time, what was the FSI or FAR applicable? That should be followed in the case of construction. If the state government want to amend the FSI or FAR, then they have to send the details to the ministry through the state government. If the ministry approves, then the revised FSI or FAR can be followed. In addition to that, the proper solid waste management and prohibit untreated sewage discharge into the coastal areas. This is also the activities mentioned in the CRZ 2. Coming back to the reconstruction. So already I am having one building, I can do the reconstruction subject to condition that the FSI or FAR as on the date 18/1/2019 we can able to follow, and the condition is the land use shall not be altered. So the current same land use we can able to follow for the reconstruction purpose. Tourism development. So for tourism development in Annexure 3, there is a very clear guidelines given in this notification, and beach resorts, hotels or tourism projects, all the things, if we follow the Annexure 3 for CRZ 2 category, then the new construction is permissible within the CRZ 2 category. Coming back to the temporary tourism facilities, here shocks, toilets, changing rooms, seating, etc. are permissible in the CRZ 2. Even we need not to check whether the authorized buildings or roads are existing. From the high tide line, after 10 meters, so leave 10 meters from the high tide line, then the temporary tourism facilities like shocks, toilets and all are permissible in CRZ 2. So here I am showing one example of sea coast. This is sea and this is HTL. Between HTL to 500 is the CRZ limit, and I am having the authorized road between the HTL and my proposed property. Then here I have to see whether the FSI or FAR as on 18/1/2019, then I can do either construction or reconstruction. In case absence of road, I have to take 2 adjacent buildings nearby, and these buildings shall be constructed before the date of notification, and towards the landward side, following the same FSI and FAR condition, we can able to do either new construction or reconstruction. So this is again in the case of tidal influence water body. So here the CRZ limit is extended up to 50 meter or width of the water body, same thing, whether the authorized road or authorized buildings are exist, then we can do construction based on the FSI or FAR. Now we can move to the CR set 3. Before going to CR set 3, we are having no development zone. No development zone, where we can able to see in the CR set 3A it is 50 meter, 3B 200 meter. In the case of tidal influence water body, either 50 meter or width of the water body. In the case of coastal or backwater island, now we are following 50 meter. After the approval of integrated island management plan, this no development zone will be reduced to 20 meters. So this is the no development zone. What are the activities permissible within this no development zone? Coming to the construction part, repair or reconstruction of the authorized structure is permissible subject to condition that the existing plinth area, for example, I am having 50 square meter of building, that can be reconstructed by limiting 50 square meter. FSI, FAR as well as the density of the building shall be followed in the case of reconstruction. Construction of the dwelling units, this is again applicable only to the traditional coastal community. The construction or reconstruction within no development zone. Here the disaster management provisions and sanitary arrangements are available, then new construction for the dwelling units belonging the traditional coastal community, especially the fisher folk, is permissible. What are the other activities permissible in no development zone? Agriculture, horticulture, forestry, park, playfield, pastures, forestry, etc. And construction of facilities for local inhabitants like dispensaries, schools, toilets, roads, bridges, cemeteries, electric substations. So this is again a case to case basis, the state or UT authority can able to decide whether it is required for the local inhabitant or the traditional coastal community. Then the domestic sewage treatment facilities. So here we have to get the no objection certificate, NOC, from the concerned state pollution control board or the pollution committee of UT. Facilities for fishing communities, example fish drying yards, action halls, ice plants, boat building yards, fish curing facilities are permissible in the no development zone. Tourism facilities, here also the temporary tourism facilities are permissible, shocks, toilets, drinking water, walkways, etc. So here the same condition what I said in CRS 2, we have to leave 10 meter from the HTL, and after that the temporary tourism facilities can be done. Resorts or hotels and temporary tourism facilities allowed landward side of the state highways. In case within this 500 meter I am having the state highway, then behind the state highway towards the landward side, the resorts or hotels permissible. Here we have to again follow the annexure 3 of the notification. Absence of highways, temporary tourism facilities, leaving 10 meter from the HTL of sea coast, we can do construction of either walkway, drinking water facilities, washrooms, change rooms, shower panels, seating arrangements, etc. For that we have to prepare a plan called tourism plan. So tourism plan, once it is approved, then we can do all these temporary structures also in the no development zone. Mining based on the mining plan approved by the Ministry of Mining, Government of India. Based on that, the extraction of atomic minerals is permissible in the no development zone. So this is no development zone. So we know either width of the water body or maximum 50 meter is the CR set extent for the tidal influence water body. Here I have shown 50 meter and 20 meter, I put it in the bracket because after the approval of IAMP, this 20 meter business will be applicable in the case of backwater or coastal island. CR set 3A. So CR set 3A, the no development zone is from HTL towards the landward side 50 meter, and CR set 3A area is 50 to 500 meter. CR set 3B, no development zone is from HTL towards the landward side 200 meter and 200 to 500 meter is the CR set 3B area. So what are the permissible activities within this CRZ 3A and 3B? That means 50 to 500 meter in the case of 3A, 200 to 500 meters in the case of 3B. The developmental activities like construction of beach resorts, hotels and tourism projects are permissible. Again, we have to follow the annexure 3. Construction, reconstruction of the dwelling units for traditional uses. So here the condition is I can do construct the residential building dwelling units with the height of 9 meters and the number of floors shall be restricted to ground plus 1 floor. The new introduction in the 2019 notification is if I belong the local community, then I can do the residential building, either part of the residential building I can convert as homestay or the entire building also I can do construct, I can do modify the homestay, that is for the tourism purpose. So this is the new introduction in the 2019 notification. Coming back to the infrastructure facilities, rain shelters, toilets, water supply, roads, sewerage and bridges are permissible. Mining similarly in the no development zone or CRZ 2 area as well as 1B area. Approval of the mining plan by Government of India, we can do mining of atomic minerals. And selective limestone mining is also permissible in CRZ 3A and 3B area. Water resources, so the extraction of water through mechanical means is prohibited. Why? Because see, it will invade the seawater intrusion and it will affect the salinity. That is the reason why the drawal of groundwater through mechanical means is prohibited. By manual means that is permissible, and for drinking or horticulture purpose, agriculture purpose and fisheries purpose, this extraction of groundwater through manual is permissible. Airport is also permissible in CRZ 3A and 3B area. Coming back to CRZ 4A and 4B, I put together traditional and coastal activities. So this is especially the water area, and traditional fishing and allied activities by the local communities are permissible. Land reclamation and bunding, again for foreshore facilities, environmental measures, strategic purposes, the land reclamation and bunding in 4A and 4B, the activities shown in this slide are permissible. Foreshore dependent facilities and projects like construction of waterfront facilities, power generation using non-conventional energy sources, facilities for transfer of hazardous substances from ships to port, storage of non-hazardous cargo, discharging treated effluents. So here this is very clearly stated, treated effluents into water courses are permissible. Strategic and defense projects, projects for defense purpose and coastal security networks like coast guards, etc. and other strategic needs are permissible in 4A and 4B. Again, Department of Atomic Energy projects are permissible in this zone. Resource exploration and extraction, atomic minerals as well as oil and natural gas, these extraction or exploration are also permissible. Thermal power plants facilities for raw material transport, cooling water intake and treated wastewater discharge must conform to environmental standards. So here we have to get the NOC from the concerned state pollution control board, and through ministry we can get the clearance for the proposed activities in 4A and 4B. Infrastructure development, pipelines and conveying systems including transmission lines, weather radars for cyclone prediction, ocean monitoring and similar activities are permissible. Memorials or monuments in CRZ 4A, so that is also permissible. Now coming back to the regularization of the residential buildings. So in case if I have constructed the house before the approval of coastal zone management plan as per 2019 notification, whether the constructed house can be regularized under 2019 notification or not. So the clause 9(4) of CRZ notification 2019, what it says, if the building that is purely for the residential purpose constructed before the date of approval of 2019 notification, that means the 2011 notification was applicable on that time. So during the 2019-11 notification, if the residential building constructed by fishermen or tribal, then that activity is whether permissible or not under CRZ 2011 notification shall be verified first. If the constructed building is not violated the provisions of CRZ notification 2011, then that can be regularized subject to these two conditions. Condition number 1 is the purpose shall not be changed. That means only the dwelling units are permissible, it should not be changed from the dwelling units to commercial activity. And the second condition is it should not be sold or transferred to non-traditional coastal community. So that is the reason why they have very specifically mentioned that the constructed dwelling units of either fisher-folk community or the tribal community can be regularized under 2019 notification. Now coming back to the prohibited activities under CRZ 2019 notification, setting up of new industries or expansion of the existing industries, operations or processes is prohibited activity. Manufacture or handling of oil, storage or disposal of hazardous substances. So here I mentioned the notification published by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, 4th April 2016 they have issued the notification. Based on that, this is prohibited activity. Setting up of new fish processing units is prohibited. Land reclamation bunding. So what are the activities exempted? Those activities are we can able to consider either in 1B, 2, 3, 4A, 4B. But for other purpose, the land should not be reclaimed or bunding as well as disturbed. Discharge of untreated waste. So we discussed in the CRZ 4A and 4B category, treated wastewater subject to the NOC of the Pollution Control Board, it can be discharged into the CRZ water area. But in the case of untreated waste, that is prohibited. Dumping of city or down waste, port and harbour projects in the high eroding stretches of the coast is prohibited. Mining of sand, rocks and other substrata materials subject to condition. Dressing or altering of active sand dunes, disposal of plastic into coastal waters, drawal of groundwater. So here also I mentioned drawal of groundwater through the manual means permissible subject to certain conditions. So this is the list of prohibited activities under 2019 notification. Once again thanking you very much for your kind attention. So the next video my plan is to go with what are the procedures involved to obtain the CRZ clearance. So here we mentioned only about the permissible as well as prohibited activities from CRZ 1 to CRZ 4, where I have to get the CRZ clearance, what are the documents necessary documents required, and what are the procedures involved. Those details we can discuss in my forthcoming video. Thank you very much.